Hello, leader. Welcome back to tip number 4 on 5 tips to care for your crew. All this series, we've been talking about what we do as leaders to care for the ones that God's given to us. And so those are things like time and consistency and transparency. Those are the past things that we've talked about. And all of those fall within chapter 12 of Romans, where the Apostle Paul tells us as leaders, and not just leaders, as believers, to present ourselves as a living sacrifice, to present our bodies, lay them down on an altar so that God can do what he wants to do. And leadership is that. A lot of times it's doing the things that I don't want to do for the good of the group, for what God wants to accomplish in the group. Paul also tells us in Romans chapter 12 that as leaders that we need to weep with those who weep and to laugh with those who laugh. That is care. So tip number 4 here today on caring for your crew is fun. We want to laugh with those who laugh. We want to enjoy one another. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, you may know it, there's a time for everything, right? There's a time for everything under the sun, and there's a time to mourn and there's a time to dance. That's important for your group to grow and the relationships to grow. There needs to be fun. Now, for me personally, this can be difficult. It might be difficult for you too, because I tend to be a little bit more serious. I want to dive deep. I want to talk about the deep things of God. I want to learn. I want to study. I want to make it really interesting, but sometimes the interesting for me isn't always fun. So here are 3 ideas that you can do, just what I need to do, to create fun in your group. And the first one is to designate someone in your group to be the fun coordinator. Now for me, this is really important. I need to find someone else to do that. But for you, it may not be a problem. You might be the fun coordinator. But what I mean is to make sure that on a monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, possibly even a weekly basis, there's some sort of fun, engaging connection with people. It may be really simple. So we want to do it low-key and high-key. And a low-key idea would be, this is tip idea number 2, a low-key idea would be something like food and fellowship. Just, here's some food, we're going to chat, and then maybe we'll meet. It could be something like a game night. That's not very high energy. It's just hanging out, playing cards, playing a game, whatever it is. It's fun, right? But it's not a lot of energy. A little bit more energy, high energy, would be doing an outing. We're going to go to a Royals game, or we're going to do some sort of activity, go to a concert. It's a little bit more energy. It's fun, it's outside our group, and it's a little bit more energy. To finally maybe doing like a service project where we're going to go serve at a local food pantry, or we're going to do some sort of activity, go Christmas caroling. Well, that's a service project, and it's lots more energy to take place. And those are all fun, but different people think different things are fun. So making sure that we mix up low-key and high-energy fun. The last thing that I would encourage you to do is to celebrate wins. As a group, sometimes we dive deep into the things that are difficult in our lives, and we discuss the hard things, and we forget to come back to those things that are hard, that are now solved. They're good. God has done something in those areas, and we need to make sure that we come back to those and celebrate the good news that God's done in our lives, because a win is good news, and that is fun. It's fun to hear what God has done in someone else's life. Well, let me encourage you again that you are a leader. And as a leader, I want to press you to lead well. And that means sacrificing yourself, doing the hard things, and caring for your crew. Well, thanks again for joining us on this edition of 5 Tips to Care for Your Crew. Here in a few weeks, I'll share with you our last tip, and then we'll move on to a brand new series I can't wait to unveil for you. Thanks for being here. See you later.